Incredible 60-day journey by dog sled around Ellesmere. Can you tell me what it's been like for you following his trip?
Um, it's been absolutely magnificent to be able to follow it. Obviously I'm a father, so one gets nervous when you hear about polar bears coming into the camp or polar bears stalking them. But I knew he was in Will Steiger's capable hands, and somebody who's had years and years of experience out in the Arctic. So we slept well at night, and knew that our young boy was going to come back a man.
Have you talked to Sam about how the experience affected him, what he thought of the trip?
He loves every minute of it. Even after 60 days, when we managed to get hold of him on a satellite phone, he said he wasn't quite ready to come home, and for a young 21-year-old, out in the wilds, and freezing cold, having to pickaxe your way through the ice without his girlfriend. That was quite interesting. So, but anyway, he enjoyed it enormously, and I'm sure he's got a fantastic amount from it. And I just have to hope that we haven't lost him to the Arctic.
Can you talk a little bit about what you think things like the Will Steger Foundation? He's kind of our Minnesota hero when it comes to environmental stewardship, that sort of thing, and you've been so involved in that of late. What this type of thing really says to the world.
Do I carry on looking there?
Could you please? Yeah.
Okay. It's extremely important that expeditions like this take place, just to make clear to the world what we're going to lose if we lose the Arctic. And there are scientists who believe that the Arctic ice in the summer may only have 8 or 9 years to go. Eminent scientists like James Lovelock, that's incredibly sad. And so expeditions like this can actually capture the beauty of the Arctic, possibly just for posterity. It may well be that we're now too late to save it. I think are doing a very important job. Hopefully, we can come up with a technological answer to global warming. We have a $25 million prize to try to see if anybody can come up with a way of extracting carbon out of the Earth's atmosphere. And we're still trying to encourage brilliant young minds to see if they can do that, because if we could extract carbon out of the Earth's atmosphere, we could regulate the Earth's temperature and actually save the Arctic. But we should by no means rely on that. I think the chances are that people will not succeed on that, and therefore we just got to do every other means possible to try to save this beautiful Arctic and this beautiful planet.
The impacts of climate change are going to fall on the generation of people who were on this trip, young people between the ages of 20 and 30. And the hope is that through trips like this, these young people can become leaders and change agents. They carry the burden, but they also are hope for policy change. Can you see that in the 6 young people that went on this trip, that they might become our leaders in addressing the impacts of climate change?
Well, each of them are certainly capable of becoming great leaders, and I think just the fact that you can put up with the extreme conditions of the Arctic for nearly 3 months, certainly you're growing up tough anyway. That's a good first step. You're having to learn how to deal with other people. But I think each of them realise from their trips and from what they've read how serious climate change is. My son was fortunate enough to have a car before this trip. He's sold his car as a result of this trip, and so it's important you get your own house in order as much as you can. But I do believe that they will take from this trip a lot of knowledge and hopefully go and do something about it.
You spent a week or so with Will Steger last year on a trip like this. How would you describe Will and his commitment to the Arctic?
Well, Will is a completely 100% committed person. He's straight from this trip he's off to Greenland to do another trip. So I don't think he can lead much of a personal life. I mean, his life is devoted to devoted to saving this beautiful world that we live in, and he's an incredibly committed individual. I could never do what he does. I think he used to be enormously admired for what he does.